You know, we have to quit playing tentative when we go on the road. It's really 3 ball games we played like this. So once we get them settled down and get into rhythm, then it's been okay. You got to give Iowa State credit; they came after us. It was a home game, and so you got to get ready to play. So, but it was 4. I said what this is going to be like: three road games in Texas. You know, we're beat up pretty good. We're going to need the 12 days to get ourselves back and get ourselves ready to go. But it's good to be going into a break and being undefeated. So right now it's what we're trying to get accomplished.
You mean you're playing tentative on defense?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's the first quarter. I think I told the announcer, I said, I think we might be the worst first quarter defense in college football right now. After that, they seem to wake up. I mean, last week we held somebody to 119 yards in the second half, and this week we shut them out in the second half. So maybe I need to start calling it different. We'll see. But I've got 12 days to figure it out. It was a physical ball game. We'll be sore tomorrow.
Coach, on that end, Kavante Turpin, I know he left. What can you tell us about that?
Well, he'll be. As much as I can tell you, he'll be back. It's not I don't think it's a season ending. But he took a pretty good hit. So.
What happened to Josh in the first quarter?
Hip pointer.
What were the discussions about him, and what did you think about the way he came back?
Oh, they're seniors. Kindred, our safety. There's a bunch of people from about the middle of the third quarter on heard the whole time. So they've got themselves. These guys, they've been resilient. They've played part of it, especially on defense. It hasn't gone the way we wanted it to. I think Jaden Overcrone broke a record. I think Josh broke his own record, and so and I think we as a team broke it. It's the first time we've had a 15-game winning streak. So it's just, you just got to find ways to win. So we're trying to get to November.
Dox in particular to still be running out there with the pointer, in the fourth quarter. Is that kind of the example you want him to set for?
Well, for us, it was. In this league, there's never a game's over with. They called 2 timeouts. You could have taken a knee, but you want to get your other kids work and doing things. But we're still trying. You're still trying to win. You score 1 touchdown in 17, and then you kick an onside kick, and you get the ball back, and it's a 10-point, and they got the ball. And now you're down to 3 points. So for us in this league, I've learned you better not let off the gas until it's getting awfully close. That would be a sad thing if it was my fault, if I did something like that. So.
Can you talk a little bit about Boykin? The star performance he had on the road in the Big 12.
He's been playing this way, really all year. He's just one of those guys. The game has really slowed down for him. When you have a guy like Dodson, it makes it a lot easier. I thought Des White stepped in for Turpin and had a big ball game. I didn't see how many, but having Colby Listenby back, having a home run threat, I thought was a big deal. To have him back in the ball game. So, we've got some really good football teams ahead of us, starting with the first one, West Virginia, on a Thursday night. So they've got the time off too. So it'll be a war, and then you got Oklahoma State, Kansas, and then you go Oklahoma, Baylor. So it doesn't get any easier as we go. So it's for us to finish. But I told everybody, and for you that haven't been a part of it, I thought the most important 4 games was these last 4 games. To go to Lubbock, where we're not liked, play Texas at home, go to Manhattan, Kansas, go to Ames. All those places have become dark holes where really good teams have disappeared before. And so for us, again, I like the way the defense fought back, threw a shutout in the second half, and that might be the formula of what I have to do. I can't just play base defense. For 2 weeks in a row, I've had to start dialing it up, and So we may be better at doing that kind of stuff, and so I guess you should just blame me.
Well, one of the Nick Orr made a play, I guess maybe on one of those plays that you dialed up.
Yeah, the one fumble on the quarterback. Yep. You know, it's 5'9.5", 5'10" corner against a 6'5", 6'6" wide receiver, and he wasn't winning very many of them. So I had to give him some help. You had a question?
How do you plan on addressing that first quarter defense?
You know, we did it the same way last week. We've got to get started faster. And really, the linebackers, the first group that need to get started faster because they gave up 2 touchdowns not getting lined up. But we got to get started faster. It may be how we need to practice. So I may change up how we practice the first part of practice when we get going.
Maybe they're just trying to be too careful. There's so many new guys.
We don't make any excuses. That's why I told him, we're the worst first quarter defense in college football right now. Holy smokes.
Well, what do you think of Carraway's play, the one he made?
Which one?
The one with the fumble.
I don't know.
Well, he recovered a fumble.
I don't know which fumble it is. You won the one they called back? Well, it wasn't a fumble. They called it back and called it incomplete.
How would you summarize these 4 games as a whole for you?
Well, we found a way to win. We haven't had very many breaks go our way this season. Really, these kids have kind of fought through all of it. And so I don't see the next 5 games changing much, to be honest with you. It should be really interesting. Everybody needs to not turn their TV off.
Coach, what is it about Kindred that it seems like every time there's a gasp or a big hit, he's there? And
you know, he is. He's a senior. He's a good player. He's played hurt basically since the first week. And so, you know, my biggest coaching point to him is for him not to get frustrated when he can't get the young linebackers to do what he needs them to do. More than anything else, he needs to calm down. So he not got a personal foul at the end of one of the plays. He just needs to calm down. But he's a leader. He's been part of good defenses, so he knows the way good defense is supposed to be played. And you know, I just need to keep this 12 days is going to be really good for him, to be honest with you. It's going to be really good for him. Get him out, get him in treatment, get him lined up, and I think going into the last 5 games he'll be a better player because he's going to be a lot healthier because he's going to feel better.
How'd Howard do switching back to defensive back from linebacker?
Oh, good. He does it when we go to nickel. He was doing it in the game anyway. Anytime we go nickel, he was going to one of the strong safeties. So dead man got to walk. I mean, that's just the bottom line to the whole situation.
Anything else for Coach? Okay, thanks.
We feel fortunate.